Hi guys, welcome back to the internet. I am... I don't freaking know. Here's me trying to make a video again. So, at the beginning of this year, I wanted to read more, but I also wanted to update you on my reading more because I have this bad habit of not saying anything about what I've been reading and then making one video that tries to sum up 6 months worth of books and seeming like I read a lot when I really don't feel like I do. So I thought I would update you on the last 2 months of reading, February and March 2020. I haven't actually finished many books, but I did dabble in a lot of them and I do have opinions. So here we go. There are 3 books that I started thinking that I was going to read and then quickly realized it just wasn't the right time for them. So the first one was a reread called The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera. This is one of my favorite books of all time. I do really enjoy this book and the writing style and the really short chapters and the philosophical themes that run throughout it. I think it's a really well-written book. I think it's super interesting if you are interested in history and humanity. But it just wasn't the right time for me to pick this one back up again. So we'll see how it goes with this one. I also started Before the Coffee Gets Cold, which is a Japanese translation. I don't tend to like Japanese translations because I find the language very simple, and one of my favorite things about books is language and the way that authors play with it. I also didn't really get a chance to properly kind of enter the world. So this is a super interesting premise. I heard about it from Ariel Bissett on her channel, and basically it is a book about time travel wherein there's this cafe and you can travel in time before your coffee gets cold. So it seemed like a super interesting premise. There's a cat on the cover. You know, it seemed like a book that I would really enjoy with the magical realism elements, but yeah, unfortunately I just couldn't get into this one. And finally, one that I think is, it's super clear why I couldn't continue reading, is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. This one is a dystopian fiction that has been around for a while. It was published in 2014 and it's about a virus that spreads. It's about a global pandemic that kills a lot of people, and it's about a theater company that exists post-apocalypse, post-pandemic, and the relationships between those characters and humanity and a lot of other themes that I didn't get the chance to get into because I wasn't really feeling, honestly, the theater company storyline. I wasn't really feeling the heavy Shakespeare themes, but I also wasn't feeling a dystopian. I think that's like super clear why. So those are the ones that I just didn't even start really properly. Another book that I began that I don't actually have the copy of with me here that I didn't finish was Haunted by Chuck Palahniuk. Chuck Palahniuk is the author of Fight Club, which is one of my favorite books, and a lot of super disturbing fiction. And Haunted is definitely disturbing, and it's actually not as scary as I wanted it to be. I was looking to read a horror book because I watch a lot of Paperback Dreams, who's another booktuber on YouTube, and she loves horror and she loves thrillers, and like that's her jam. And it is just not my jam, but I thought, hey, I'll give it a shot. And the first couple of chapters were horrifying, like really disgusting, but it didn't really go in the direction that I was hoping it would go. It shocked you at the beginning, and then it kept luring you in with kind of more mediocre themes that I wasn't digging. I definitely liked some of Chuck Palahniuk's shorter fiction much more. One book that I started that I fully intend on continuing to read, I've just been really slow about it. Like, started it in February and it's been really slow going, but it's so good so far, and that is Dune by Frank Herbert. Yeah, it's a very classic sci-fi novel. It follows a family from a planet called Caladan who are relocated to another planet called Arrakis, and it's all about the political dynamics between the previous house that used to occupy Arrakis and used to harvest spice, which is like the most desired resource in the galaxy. There is like family dynamics and political dynamics and planetary struggles and stuff like that. So it's really cool. It's very prophetic. The first few chapters are super interesting and like weird. It doesn't really make any sense. And you slowly build a picture up of the world, and it's really slow, but it's really well done. I wouldn't say that the writing style is particularly intriguing, but that's not usually what is intriguing about sci-fi. So I'm really enjoying this one. It'll probably be months before I finish it, but I do hope to finish it this year. So this is one that I'm working on. Yep. What else? So I have here The Poetry Pharmacy by William Sieghart, which I've talked a lot about. There is actually The Poetry Pharmacy Returns, which has a different subtitle, and it's also by William Sieghart, collection of poems that are catered towards different sensations, different experiences, different situations you might be in. And the second one is blue. It's a bright blue color, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It is so well done. It's got like 5 Mary Oliver poems. It's got so many other poems that are really, really, really good, and I absolutely adore that collection. So The Poetry Pharmacy Returns, that's one of the books that, I technically read most of it, so I would consider that a finished read for me, although I do want to get my own copy once life returns to somewhat reality again. Another book that I'm still working on is How the World Thinks by Julian Beghini. I finished the first part of this book, so now I've finished How the World Knows. So I finished all of the stuff on epistemology, and the next part is How the World Is, which is all metaphysics. So it's kind of a dense book. Like there's a lot of information on every single page. There's just like so much to learn, and so I think it's probably for the best that I'm taking it slow with this one. The current chapter I'm on is Time, and it starts, in the beginning was the end, which is awesome, and you know how much I love time, and I'm really, really enjoying this. I also hope to finish it in the next few months. I'm not in a rush to read this one, but I maybe will do like a summary of it once I'm done, because it is a philosophy text and it basically unpacks a lot of different philosophies that I think would be super valuable to discuss. So if you'd be interested in having me like review or summarize this one, I'd be happy to. Just let me know. And finally, I did pick up Rumi once again in the past few weeks. I think given that we're all going through instability right now, I think Rumi is a great poet to turn to during this time. There are so many poems in here. There are so many thoughts and insights and wisdom in this collection that really give you comfort. Like really, there's no other word. It's comforting to me to read Rumi, and it reminds me that suffering is one path towards insight and wisdom, and that there's something that is greater than us that we cannot control and that we have to surrender to. And when we do, there's beauty. So I really enjoy this collection, and if you're going through something right now, I really recommend picking it up, finding an online copy. I'm sure there are so many Rumi poems online, but if you can get your hands on this one, which is published by Everyman's Library Pocket Poets, I really recommend it. That is all. Those were the books that I sort of read in the past couple of months. Looking at it now, the past couple of months are like so detached from my current reality. I guess we're all just trying to find some semblance of normalcy in a very weird, completely abnormal, anomalous, confusing situation. I thoroughly hope that you and your family members are safe, are healthy, are staying home, are washing your hands, and are taking care of yourselves. That's the most important thing that we can do at this time, which is take care of ourselves. And I'm gonna try to make more lighthearted, bookish videos for you guys. I might make one quite soon all about what I'm gonna be reading during quarantine, which seems to be a very popular booktube topic. But yeah, I think that's it for now. All right, I'll see you guys later. Take care.